from another woman that she's given you?
Wow, I mean, I agree with you on that. I'm a guy's girl, you know, and
Yeah.
I'm more of a man than most men I know.
I
So,
would, looking at you, I tend to disagree.
Most people would disagree, but hey,
yeah.
that's what you feel.
No, but I mean, just the way
You gave
know.
yourself bad advice right there.
Yeah.
Bad evaluation
I
right
mean, I know
there.
you can kick my ass, but I'm not.
No, but just because of the way I think, you know,
Yes.
I'm not playing all those little games, you know, and I think the worst
That's what it
advice.
should
No, I don't play those games. Like, if I want to text you, I'll text you. If I want to tell you I love you, I want to tell you to go fuck off, I'm going to tell you all the things I want to tell you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't
My
think.
girl.
Yeah, I don't think there's many things to do. I feel like if you're happy, you know, and that person makes you feel good, then go for it. You know, there's not like all these games and things you have to play and do. I think probably one of the worst advices I ever got. I mean, I've had a lot of bad advice. Sometimes I look at people, I'm like, really? But
Yeah.
I just can't stand. I can't stand when people like go through other people's things or like look through things or kind of. So one of my girlfriends too, like, they're like, oh, let's go through the stuff. I was like, if you open that drawer, I'm leaving this house. I will
Wow.
leave you in this house.
Good
If
for
you
you.
open that drawer, because I like just know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? But I can't stand that. If you're gonna look for something, you're gonna find something because you're looking for it.
You want
You know?
trouble, you find trouble.
Exactly.
Oh
so.
man, my ex-girlfriend, she went through all like my MySpace and
Oh, you'll
Facebook,
drive yourself crazy
emails.
like that.
Yeah.
and then she's like, who's the blah 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 from blah 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 blah. I was like, you mean from 7 years ago? That's before I even met you.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, how far down did you go in the email?
Yeah.
And who told you to do that?
I don't like that. I mean, because it's like, dude, let's say if you had any suspicions, if you had anything, be like straight up like, what's going on, you know? And I'm very truthful. Like, I'll tell you if I want a relationship or if I don't. If I don't want one, I'm like, look, this is where we're at.
I suspect with you guys, just being in this industry, you're always kind of on the lookout for people who might be on the phony side or might be trying to play games, or you know.
Well, you
how-
can tell
how
right
do you
away.
reconcile
Yeah,
that?
I think you can tell right away, like, you know, whether they're real or not. And I'm like, and that's when you, I mean, if you're trying to make a wife out of a girl that's partying 6 days out of the week,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And then she wakes up and like on Monday she's really exhausted. You're like, all right.
So Michael,
Yeah.
Michael, hanging out with cops so much, doing the movie and Watch, who gets laid more, do you think? Actors or police officers and firemen?
Are you kidding me, dude? I don't think it's even a question, dude.
Really?
Actors for sure.
Oh, really?
There's some,
I
there's
know,
some,
women
there
are-
are some
women-
cop groupies.
Women are always like
Badge
talking about
bunnies, they
cops
call
and
them badge
firemen.
bunnies.
Badge money's, but come on, dude. I mean, be honest.
Well, no, you know, now that I think about it, he is absolutely right, because let's face it, you
It's
can
not
be
even
actor.
a question. It's not
Because
even-
you could be, like,
Well, you
Michael's
can
a
be
good-looking
actors.
guy, right?
Yeah.
But
There's
there's
on
some,
my face in it, man. I
but
mean,
wait a minute, there's some actors that aren't that good looking, but you know they are hitting on a regular
Dude,
basis.
on a
You're on TV.
Like, bro, I see it all the time. Like, literally, I was like, that guy? Dude, it's like, it's nerd's revenge, man. When they go up and they're like, you know what, I was in theater school, like, I didn't play a lot, but right now, I'm taking full advantage of my commercial.
Of
work
course.
and that. Dude, there's some people that are doing commercials, man. You go to New York, you know,
Stop.
and I'm friends with guys that run like One Oak. So I'm like, whenever I'm there, I'm like, you know, have a beer there. And then I see like some writer that that just came out with like a children's book or something. He's like
Stop it.
slaying it. And I was like, what, really?
Stop
You have the
it.
sword to slay it, bro.
we had the wrong business.
I should have been writing children's books.
Yeah, Jerry, going to New York at One Oak, you know?
You know, we're talking about like, having to go out there and do research stuff. You didn't happen to speak to any cops' wives, did you?
No, I mean, when I did Detroit 187, I kind of got all the cop information I needed for 9 months. You know, but it's easy to pull from. I mean, you know, you're dealing with someone who, I always say this, that you're dealing with someone who you don't know when they're ever going to come back home, you know, so the relationship's always kind of like, you have to treat it very fragile because you never know how long they're going to be there for. Because they put themselves on the line every day. You know, these cops do these amazing things, but to do that, to protect us all, they put themselves on the line.
When you were doing the movie, were you dating somebody?
Yeah.
Did you ever start to feel like, oh, I better watch out? He's leaving. Oh, he must be gone.
No.
Never
No.
brought it home with you?
No.
You know, that was interesting though. Dude,
Must not have remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
bro, her boyfriend would actually drop her off so we can go on our mini dates, like our folk dates. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's so cool.
That
And I was
gives
like,
you that confidence.
man,
Yeah.
but that's cool. And I'm like, because it also like enabled me to be like, all right, safe, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not gonna
We
be-
hung out once like 4 in the morning, and he comes pick me up. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And like picks me up at 4 in the morning.
One of the things, this topic comes up constantly on the show, and he and I actually debate this thing regularly. Can men and women be just friends?
If
Michael,
they're-
go. Wait, Michael, go.
If they're attracted to each other, throw that in there.
If they're attracted to each other, go ahead.
I got.
I mean, actually, I think, yeah. I mean, like, it depends on the girl, though. I'm like, it depends if she's like, I mean, if she, you know, if she's down and she like hangs out with the boys, then it's one thing. But if it's like some, you know, really soft, angely kind of girl, and you're like, yeah, I'm just trying to be friends. No.
I'm very fortunate. I have a lot of really, really good friends since I was a kid. You know, and one of my best friends, I've been friends, yeah, guy friends and girlfriends. But I've had a guy friend of mine since I was 12 years old, and we have been friends. You know, he dated my best friend. We've known each other since we were little, like young kids. You know, and I can't stand him. But like when you say like he's like my brother, I love him. But at the same time, it's like, but not one. We sleep in the same bed together,
Now, here's my
and
argument.
not one thing.
I said this to both of you. If the person you're attracted to said, "Hey, let's do it,"
Well, that's
the guy would do it.
that's
every,
what-
the guy would do it every time.
That's one point I want to
absolutely-
make.
You're exactly correct.
I don't think that.
I mean, they could be friends, but what I'm saying
This
is
is where I
that
disagree with you.
they
I
will
don't-
have sex with
I
somebody.
think you got a 50-50 shot, and I always think it depends on the relationship that the two have. Because as a guy, especially for somebody I've known for a long time, and somebody like a sister to me, the one thing that would kick off in my head was, oh my God, this could go all wrong, and I'll never see this person that I grew up with ever again. That would give me major
Oh, but you're
pause.
the bald
But you know
man.
what, dude? The point being is we're all animals. We're human beings. You know, if it's gonna be put on the table, we're all gonna eat from it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not knocking
it.
I'm not
I went that
I've had
far.
it a couple
You
times.
know, if it's on the table, we're all gonna.
Yeah, I've had it a couple times with like some of the girlfriends that I have now. They're like friends. Like we've hooked up in the past.
Right.
And then like you know like I've been friends with this girl for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like it was like a 2-month fling, and then all of a sudden she
Yes.
met somebody that she
Right.
liked and blah blah blah. And we've been friends ever since. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's always different circumstances. You know. What
Yeah,
I
I think it depends. But I feel like, you know, I have a best friend too, which all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, do I like you? And I actually had to put it in perspective because I'm not gonna lose
You do
my
have
friend, and I have to be like, all right, do I want a fling? Because I think the only way it would ever work out would be if like we're really gonna do this, like no dating, like you're married.
I'm saying the
That's
brain,
only
the
way.
brain below the waist has no thoughts.
But I think
it
when
just goes, and then afterwards it goes.
I also
oh,
believe
it
though
goes.
that it has more control of you when you're younger than when you're older.
That-
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Or when you have to like tame the brain first and then go out.
I was gonna say that. I mean, now that we're older, you know, you're not really motivated as your partner down there. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
when you're younger, it's like you don't care about anything. You know, you just want to live. You want to live.
Right.
But I think when you're older, you kind of really do put things in perspective because you realize how hard it is to actually make good friends like that. So you don't just want to lose it just for few minutes in the sack.
We are chatting with Natalie Martinez and Michael Pena from the motion picture End of Watch, one of the best films of the year. It is going on my 10 best films of the year list. I'm just telling you that right now.
Thank you.
It's going on that list. Make sure you go and see this bad boy. Open September 21st. Closing out with one bit of advice you would give all women when it comes to guys. Michael.
Don't take advice. Follow your heart. Don't take advice.
There you go.
That's good
You
advice.
know what you know.
That's good advice. You guys don't come to the Bay that often, but we need to get you back out.
Oh yeah, I want someone bathed.
Hit us up. We'll take care of y'all when you come out.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thanks a lot.